Today, they have gone through a 9-month software engineering intensive program. Most of them, I will say, have never learned how to code before this 9 months, okay? So you're seeing 9 really difficult months of coding sessions, code reviews, meetings with our software engineering lead, Sean, MVP development for the last 2 months, right? So everything you'll see here today are MVPs developed by the students for the last month and a half. And congratulations to all the graduates today. I almost forgot to mention the weekly career development sessions. So why do we do this, right? Why do we do this at Holberton Coding School? We do this to develop talent here in Puerto Rico. We do this to develop jobs here in Puerto Rico, right? And so we're really excited to present our newest graduates who are ready to launch their tech careers, either here in Puerto Rico or elsewhere, remote, freelance, full-time, part-time. They're ready to work. They're ready to launch their tech careers, and to all the graduates, we're here to support you, right? So even though we had those weekly career development sessions, if you remember, I'm here to support you along the way for your job search, more mock interviews. Anyway, you know why I'm here. So before we get started, I'd like to thank the rest of the Holberton Coding School staff here in Puerto Rico. We have our campus director and CEO, Mercedes Diaz. We have our marketing and admissions manager, Jandalis Zapata. We have our software engineering lead, as I mentioned before, Sean Cardona, who is also a Holberton Coding School graduate, both from the intensive program and the specialization. And thank you so much to our 2 co-founders, Adam Beglin and Cyril Madunya, who are here today. The rest of our student education staff and our volunteers today, thank you so much. Production crew, greeters, we really appreciate you being here. So, one big thank you to all of you hiring partners, tech community, everyone online who's joining from our hiring partners and tech community. Thank you so much. Let's get the show started. All right. So our first team is Health Lab. I hope you enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. We are Health Lab, and we present to you the future of nutrition intelligence. I'm Josniel Ramos, the creative director and front-end developer of the web app. I mostly worked on the front end, but also on the full stack application.
I'm Fernando Lockwood. I had PM duties, full stack responsibilities, and mainly worked on the LLM implementation.
My name is Gabriel Garcia Muniz. I also had full stack responsibilities. I was tech lead, and I prioritized in the scalability and maintainability of the backend.
So what inspired us to build Health App? So most nutrition apps are often too strict or complicated to use, and we wanted to change that. So Health Lab makes nutrition planning simple and personal for the user. Starting off with wellness, we have our daily calorie tracker, which allows the user to set their goals, input their meal intake, and also see how many calories they have left to consume. They also get personalized health tips depending on their preferences, as well as a visual meal log and a journal that helps you keep track of your nutrition progress. As well with the nutrition, each meal will be generated by our AI LLM, taking when you complete your first sign up, you're going to take a quick nutrition test where you specify if you have any allergies, any dietary preferences, and then the AI takes that information to deliver tailored meal plans. Those meal plans are going to be generated with their own macronutrients depending on the information. And also you can browse for our ingredient database for manual logging. Our apothecary features also recommends you via AI recipes depending on your selection. And finishing off with technology, our LLM elevates and evaluates your health goals and dietary preferences so that way it can deliver a more tailored meal plan and unique experience. And now Gabriel, our tech lead, will be talking more about our tech stack. Thank you.
So for our tech stack, we use GitHub to collaborate and develop Health Lab, right? Our backend is comprised of Node.js with SQLite for a lightweight database management system. We are using Python for the overall language in the backend as well. The front end, we use the Vite build app with React and JavaScript for the main logic and interactions. And we also build with Tailwind for the CSS, which is the styling and how it looks. Challenges, we did face a few, especially when we're developing an app in a crunch time. We had 3 to 2 months of actually putting this together and running it. And one of the challenges that many developers know, GitHub and Gitflow, with the conflicts and merges, you need to really analyze the code when you are merging, so the database and the code base as a whole is not compromised. We also had challenges with the LLM, with the models that we were using with Anthropic API. Some had latency issues that were taking too much time, and others were giving discrepant outputs. It wasn't really there. So we really had to scrutinize over the models that we wanted to use for our agentic systems instructions and actually giving the responses to the users that they would want, right? And creating also another challenge, the multi-relational database with the data integrity and authenticity is really, really important, especially when you're working with a wellness app like Health Lab, because that's where the value is, right? The data that we're using for the users to use it has to be accurate. It has to be accurate, and designing that multi-relational database that interoperates with itself is essential. It's essential.
So thank you, Gabriel and Justine, for talking about the how and the why we built Health Lab. Let's do a quick demo so you can look at the application itself. So first of all, if you're a new user, we start inputting your information. So your first, your last name, some key personal information, gender, activity level, height, weight, just simple basic data. After that, we really get to a special sauce, what makes us different. So that would be our Nutri-test. So we give you 8 initial health pillars. A user is able to choose up to 4 of these. So in this case, it would be increased energy, mental clarity, muscle recovery, and better sleep. This is essential in our whole process because every single output that's being generated is going to be personalized and tailored based on these inputs. So after that, we start choosing allergies. In this case, it would be dairy or sesame, but you can choose whatever you're allergic to. After that, we have a few options of dietary preferences. We're choosing balanced diet here, but it could be a vegetarian person or a paleo diet person that prefers that. Finally, we're choosing how many meals you want it to be output. In this case, we're choosing 3 meals, but it could be 3 meals and 2 snacks, 5 to 6 smaller meals. And finally, if you have any other ingredients that you dislike that are not shown prior, you would input them here and they would not show up in the outputs. As you can see, all these things are being generated live by the Haiku 3.5 LLM that we're leveraging. Here, you get the outputs. You have a summary of the inputs that you had prior. Make sure that everything's fine. You get these meal cards that are generated. You interact with them. You could see some instructions on how to prepare the meal, ingredients, and some macronutrient information that will be shown later on in the dashboard. these things are being generated and you get to manually log the meals if you like the generation. Let's say you want to regenerate them again, it's really easy to do. When you log the meal, it's being shown in the daily calorie tracker. So before it was 0, now it's 23% of that daily goal that you had inputted prior. And you can also interact with that, manually log meals that are not being generated by the AI. That, let's say you had lunch outside, you'll be able to manually log them there. Have a quick summary of those meals. And some other features that we have that's super exciting. Meal history tab, let's say you logged a meal, want to delete that from the history, you'll be able to do it there. You have a general calendar. You'll be able to look at the meals that you ate last week or the week before that. So that's a cool way to interact with your history. The apothecary, as well as being personalized and tailored from those inputs that we had before. So this matcha green tea energy shot that we recommend would be an increased energy recommendation, for example. Or a muscle recovery would be a muscle milkshake or power shake, right? This is also something that we're trying to add more depth to. That's a new feature that we're trying to implement as well. And finally, we have an ingredient database. So we created a mapping of sorts. So all these things are being inputted into the LLM. They're also tailored as well. So if, for example, you want to look into bone broth or broccoli, you'll be able to look at the key compounds that are inside these ingredients. These are all USDA facts and backed by real data. So that's been our demo. We're super excited to show you the application. We want to invite you to the back. These are our socials. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ekmar Ortiz,
And I am Camila Sostre.
and we're very excited to showcase our mobile application called MedPost. Now, a little bit about our team and our team roles. I am lead software engineer, business, and QA analyst. I was mainly in charge of building our backend infrastructure and our database schemas.
And I was the project manager, full stack engineer, and graphic designer. I built most of the front end and some of the back end, like the AI.
Now, before we go into what is MedPost specifically, I'd like to talk a little bit about the problem that we're trying to solve, our unique insight to that problem, but most importantly, what inspired us to come up with a solution to that problem in the first place. Now, we believe that healthcare in Puerto Rico isn't broken, it's unstable. The people of Puerto Rico want better care, better services, but facilities can't seem to keep up. Now, why is that, you may ask? We attribute that problem mainly to staffing inconsistency. The retraining cycles in healthcare are absolutely killing growth and overall care quality. So our insight to this is that whoever solves for staffing inconsistency in the current healthcare landscape will be able to unlock unprecedented scale and growth to the current facilities and provide the people of Puerto Rico with consistent high quality growth. Services, care. Now, how do we know this? What inspired us to solve this problem? Well, my family has been in the senior care industry for nearly 20 years, and we've experienced the problem firsthand. Right now, we felt the constant, the retraining, the readapting, the loss of energy, and that exposed the real need. The need for a platform that makes consistency the new standard in healthcare staffing.
And this is why we built MedPost, a mobile platform that allows facilities search for real verified workers that are looking to be professionals in the healthcare industry, like caregivers or nurses. How did we build this mobile app? Well, to build a mobile app that works across platforms, you use React Native. We use React Native with scripted with TypeScript, so the app can work in iPad, iPhone, and we were able to build the landing page as a web app. We also use ExpoGo. ExpoGo is a mobile app that allows you to test React Native platforms. And this is how we viewed how everything was working and looking. And of course, Node.js for all the packages that ExpoGo needs. For the AI, we included Hugging Face AI, which is the sentence transformer that was incorporated into our search, and ngrok is what allows the mobile application interact with the backend from the computer.
Now, when it comes to our main architecture in the back end, as you can see, we consolidate mainly with Python. We built our data models using SQL Alchemy. Now, the rationale behind utilizing this, very specific tech stack was mainly, optimizing for speed and consolidation, considering the fact that, our app thrives on network effects and we have two types of users. And, mapping the relationships between these types of users was pretty extensive and complex. And, factoring in that we had little time for production, it made sense to, consolidate with one language only in the backend. Now, when it comes to our databases, we use a tool called Alembic. This tool migrates our data models into our PostgreSQL database, which, was mainly chosen because of, it's safe, we're dealing with healthcare data, and Postgre, the service, is very secure when it comes to securing our clients' data, so we can ensure that it was restricted and the most secure possible for our users.
The main challenge that we have building an app like MedPost was that we have two very complex users and we were not documenting everything. It was a lot that was missing, and we started documenting more in MedPost, more in ClickUp, I'm so sorry, and we started communicating more, and this is how we were able to recover a very big part of our app that was literally lost in the last week, and now we're gonna be able to show you how the app actually works. This is how the logging looks in MedPost. This is a demo made from an iPad. As you can see, it will open in your profile, and you can navigate in the home all the jobs that are available. If you apply to the job, you're not going to be able to apply it again to the same job. And there are all the facilities available at MedPost. There's the available workers. In the home is absolutely everything that is available in MedPost. So that is accessible. We want to make the hiring process, a lot more accessible. So this is why all the information is displayed. The resume, the facilities can just click view resume and it opens the resume automatically. The experience is there, and endorsements. These are the things that facility leave if you work very, very well. This is our search where the sentence transformer is implemented. The AI is what makes the queries. So if you look for caregiver, it's going to show you all the caregiver jobs. And if you go to facility, you can also use your geolocation or look for hospitals, hogar, which are like the caregiving facilities. And in the home as well, you can see the facility profile. As well as the worker, you have all the information available so you know exactly who you're working with. All the jobs that the facility posts are also available for everyone to see, all the workers to see.
Now, we saw the end-to-end flow of our core features of our the main feature of our application from the workers' POV, but I'd like to talk about some key features from our facilities point of view. For instance, we have facilities can search for specific workers, using our keyword search, and they can filter through them, especially by endorsements. This gives facilities the ability to not only search for credible workers, but how credible do you want them? And another key feature, as you can see, is that facilities have the ability to change the application status. For workers, let's say that you apply for a job, you like to know in what stage of the pipeline you're in. Like, did you get rejected? Are you under review, etc. So this maintains a flow of insights for the application, especially for our workers. And to close, we like to, we got our verification process. In this instance, we can see that a worker, we're going to register, going to create an account, but before they access the features of MedPost, they have to input their profile photo, their resume, a selfie, and their ID. This way, we have control of whether to approve or reject their credentials and maintain a steady flow of credibility in our app. And yeah, that would be all. Thank you for your time, and we're open to answer any questions. But yeah, that's MedPost.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tommy Hernández Arroyo.
And I'm Paola Gonzalez.
We're going to be presenting our project, Intelecta.
So, why Intellecta? For me as a student, while coding and working on my Holberton projects, I found myself getting distracted pretty easy and get sidetracked. And because of it, I will lose time.
In my case, I have a short attention span, and I find myself often getting distracted by anything. When I started studying here at Holberton, my main goal was to stay on track, stay focused, which is why we built Intellecta. This app was made by students and for students.
The goal behind Intellecta, it's simple. Because studying shouldn't feel chaotic. Between juggling notes, videos, and assignments, it's easy to lose track of what you're doing and what to do next. While having everything together in one simple app.
So our solution was to design a personalized study dashboard to help students stay focused, organized, and most importantly, making them feel motivated while they work.
Having a customizable study tracker using Pomodoro for easier studies, and having their resources in one page.
So for the project text, we mainly build it with React, which uses a JavaScript syntax extension within the HTML syntax. We only used JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. JavaScript was mainly for logic and structure, HTML for structure, and CSS for styling.
Vite was also chosen as a build tool for its lightweight and fast development. It works with an app so we can reload data and reload the real-time database. For the backend, we use Supabase, which is a open source alternative to Firebase. It handles user authentication, storage, and real-time database.
Overall, this stack actually allowed us to make the amazing app we have today and deliver a polished product.
Like any other project, we face some challenges along the way, both technical and organizational.
It started with React. With React, it was a whole new language for us, and it was challenging managing components, but we eventually pushed through by communicating and reorganizing a structure and working clean code that is reusable and readable for the student.
With Supabase, we found some errors with the authentication and the communication between the client and the database. We solved this by reading, understanding deeply the documentation for the Supabase, and it really helped us improve.
Team communication was also a very important problem for us. We pushed through also. We managed to talk through commits and communicating by doing daily checkups, which helps a lot with the building of our app.
We got ahead and used to-do list, setting clear daily goals, and dividing our workload equally for better organization. This helps us a lot to improve our work and not just to learn to make a web app, but to work like real developers and being adaptable. This is our demo. Here we have the sign up page where the user will create an account. It will pass the user's name, email, and password. Here we're signing to the account. Here we meet it with a interactive dashboard.
Here the student is typing what they need to do in the day. The student can cross it, delete it, and add more.
Here we have the Pomodoro timer, which the user can set up their study time, and it will automatically set up their break time, and it will cue the user every time it starts and takes a break.
The user can also add flashcards for memorization, and it works like a real flashcard.
We have the video section where the user can put a YouTube URL with a title, and it will save the videos, the resources in this page.
The user can also have the option to upload their documents, and it also saves within the app.
That wraps up our demo. In summary, our Intellecta is built for students who want to have be organized, and have a stress-free environment.
For future features, we're already planning to integrate AI summary for the students who have a lot of big PDFs, so the AI can summarize them for them.
We also are planning to integrate a login feature that will keep the users in the page, so they keep focused and manage better their studies.
We're also planning on adding a user streak, so the user can keep earning more streaks while they keep interacting with our app.
That wraps up our project.
Here are our socials, our LinkedIn. Please come get us at our booth to test our Pomodoro timer, which has features with study break and end-up breaks. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Caesar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hector Soto, and I work on the front end of CServe. The front end is the part that people see and use, like buttons, screens, or menus. Is what shows you the food and drinks right on your phone or laptop.
Hi, my name is Alejandro Garcia. I work at the back end of the CServe. The back end is like a brain of the app. He's run in the background, handle all hard work. So you click the order, the back end, it check everything, all handle all the hard work.
Okay, I assume almost everyone here went to a concert. And let's bring an example. When you're at a concert or sports games and you're watching your favorite song or your favorite play, and you don't want to leave your seat because you want to grab some food or something to drink, and you don't want to leave your seat because you're watching your favorite song or your favorite play, we got the solution for you. Our solution, a concession ordering app that is for concert venues and sports arenas. For venues, you get shorter lines, increase sales, and improve attendance experience. For attendees, you can order for the comfort of your seat, and you don't miss your favorite song or favorite play.
How's the backend work? He's built it with Fast API, Ubicon, and SQLite. The Fast API is take the all information, and the SQLite store all the order and menu items safely. My job is check the app and do its work fast and didn't crash.
I work in the front end of the page that is use React, Vite, and Tailwind CSS. React helps makes the app fast and interactive, and Tailwind CSS make it look beautiful and clean. My job was to make sure everything looks good and work easily so fans can order without getting confused or lost. Now we are going to walk you through some of the challenges we have while we're building the app.
One of the challenges I have is that combine the back end and the front end. And the other one is the brand merging without issues.
One of the challenges we have is when we try to combine the front end with the back end. Sometimes everything happens, things break. So sometimes we try to merge the branches and the app didn't run. So we have to maintain each other communication because he's working the back end with his computer and I work the front end with my computer. So we have to keep communication every time. So it was a key part of the project. So I learned how to connect the front end with the back end. It was a little bit tricky, but teamwork made it happen.
What we learned when we work in team, we got a resilience, communication, and problem solving all the time.
Now we're going to show you the seat surf demo. This part right here, you can create an account by putting your full name, and then you can put your phone or email. After that, you can put your password of preference. Once all your information is done, you can hit the create button and a confirmation that will appear on your screen that your account is fully created. So you can log in as normal. Once you're in, the food stands that are going to appear on your screen, you can use the food stand you want. Once you hit one of the stands, the item menu will appear on your screen, and you can start adding all the items you want. And you can select if you want to pick up at the food stand or by getting delivered to your seat by putting your seat location. At the end of the page, you're going to see your cart with all your items you already add, and you add a note to specify something in your order. Once it's done, you can hit the checkout button, and the page will take you to the payment section. So you can put your credit card information and your billing address. And on the side, you're still going to see all the items you already add included with your total. After you put all your information in your payment information, you hit the complete payment, and the page is going to take you to the review section, so you can check all the items. You can add more items or remove any items you don't want. After that, your order will be confirmed with all the details, and you can track your order on the bottom, and the page is going to take you to the order status, so you can track all your orders in real time. Now, this is you can scan our QR code. They're going to take you to our GitHub, so you can see all the projects we made here in Holberton, including SeatServe. Together we build SeatServe, an app that lets fans ordering foods and drink for the comfort of your seat. So that's me, no more lines. You don't have to miss your favorite song or your favorite play. So we hope you see you guys on our booth on the back, over here on the back. So thank you so much for your attention. Have a great day, and remember, we deliver to you.
Thank you, guys.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andres Mora. I come from a graphic design world, but today I'm finishing my journey here at Holberton. I'm going to show you my final project. It's called VIRA. It stands for Virtual Interactive Retail Assistant. Well, the problem, I work in restaurants, so all the time I see mostly the owners want to project something, like quickly communicate a post, and they have to rely on other people. While they rely on them, they wait, and they could lose money, they could lose time, and also the momentum. So I thought, well, why cannot like build something easy and fast so anybody can make a post? So the process pretty much was a bigger idea at the beginning. I want to create a whole assistant and with different kind of models like business management, but I dealt with the thing that I have at the time, so I create only the module of creating images posting. For the front end, for the technology, pretty much was very simple: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I implemented an AI feature, but I'm waiting for some verifications of OpenAI platform. So it didn't happen right now, but it's working. The button is working. So the MVP right now, you can create from change any size of the canvas, the colors. You can change the text, make rectangles, any kind of basic element. You can put it in the canvas and export it as JPEG or PNG, even with transparency if you want to. And you're gonna see it right now. To your left, you have the action tools. You can upload images, add text, rectangles, circles, and export it. Also, you can change the color of the background. You have presets for Facebook or Instagram. To your right, you have the dynamically real-life properties that you can manage and do whatever you think is better for your post. And like I said, it's really simple and it's fast, so you can do something for like right now. And if you don't have time to waste, you can use it. And this is the graphic I just created. Simple, clean. Actually, my achievements, it were more about technical. It was to create this application. Don't quit in the journey and learn about the experience. You know, it's very frustrating and keep going. Was my personal achievement. And also, I learned to plan ahead before coding. It saves you a lot of frustration. And for bigger projects, like make the coding in modular type. It's better. If something broke, you can fix instead. You can fix something and it didn't broke the other things. And for sure, patience. That's the thing that I learned a lot. I hope I can implement the managed modules that I want to do in this application, make more graphic design tools, and AI implementation also would be better. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And you can pass by my booth and make a post in real time. Thank you.
There you go, right on. Good morning. My name is Andy, and I'm going to present you Project Wild Beats, a rhythm-based, turn-based RPG where you can play as Foxy, a small fox who's trying to escape from a group of raptors.
As for the team, it's been a solo developer journey, which meant that I had to wear many hats throughout the process. Some of the roles I had to take on were game design, programming, technical artist, among others, each one essential for bringing this project to life. Video games has always been one of my main hobbies since my childhood. To me, they're not just entertainment, they're a way to share experiences, connect with others, and express creativity. As someone who's been passionate about the gaming community, I wanted to go beyond just playing games. I wanted to make them and share my ideas with others. With Wild Beats, I aim to innovate with new mechanics to push the genre even further. The turn-based genre weaknesses, one of them is that some players might find it too slow or passive. And so my goal was to make its combat more skill-based, reactive, and its music an active part of the gameplay, not just background, but a core element of the experience. For technologies, I use Godot, which is a powerful open source engine that's beginner friendly but flexible enough for creative projects like this. The game was programmed using JavaScript for its similarity to Python, a language that we learned here at Holberton. One of JavaScript's strongest features is its signal system, which allows for a more flexible and modular code. For project management, I use Trello to organize tasks and keep track of priorities, and GitHub for version control and store progress safely. As for assets, I use 3D meshes from Kenny's, 2D elements from and music from Waterflame to bring this world to life. Some of the challenges I face include solo development. Working solo means facing challenges such as time management, problem solving, and creative decision making. Godot Engine and JavaScript were unfamiliar tools that I had to learn from scratch throughout the process, which made it a significant part of this journey. Finding suitable art assets was also a big challenge, so I had to get creative and adapt what was available to match the game's aesthetics. The rhythm synchronization was a tough system to build, so I had to make sure the game will remain perfectly in sync with the music, even when the song looped. First, I tried a beats per minute approach, but eventually built a more reliable custom system. Progress retention was also a big hurdle, ensuring that defeated enemies, looted chests, and inventory items persist. And the biggest challenge of all, time. Building a playable game for the first was a big learning experience. Next, I will showcase 2 minutes of gameplay, showcasing some of the game's mechanics. Due to formalities, the video will be muted, but after this presentation, I invite you all to come visit me at my booth where you can play the game for yourself and experience it with full audio. First, we begin showcasing the inventory menu, where you can see the character's levels, attributes, and inventory space. Approaching enemies causes them to chase the player while navigating around obstacles. Colliding with the enemy engages in turn-based combat. During battle, characters perform rhythm-based attack patterns, and the player must time their inputs correctly in order to land attacks or defend. Visual elements such as animations, user interface, and background are all synchronized with the music. Players may spend stat points to increase their character's attributes. You can explore and obtain items from chests or containers that will aid you in your journey. Progress is retained between scenes, meaning enemies stay defeated, looted chests stay empty, and inventory items persist. Elements around the stage are also synchronized with the beats. You may also find equipable items that can increase your character stats. And checkpoints, they restore the character's health, but respawn enemies, a feature inspired by Souls-like games. Different battles, different strategies, and so consumable items such as potions can be used in battle. But if you miss your inputs or spam your inputs and take too much damage, you can be defeated, which will send you back to the last checkpoint so you can try again. And so this wraps up my presentation. Here are my social links. And again, I invite you all to come visit me at my booth and try Project Wild Beats in person. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, everybody. We are Team Movium, and we are excited to bring to you Move Right, your AI-powered personal trainer, bringing you professional, expert form checking right at your fingertips. So please, without further ado, allow me to introduce you, Team Movium.
Hi, my name is Giancarlo Karim Caraballo. I was in charge of developing the front end to be for this project.
Morning, my name is Joseph Gleason Lopez. I handle data flow between the front end and the back end, and I trained our machine learning models.
And I am Kevin Sanchez. I worked on the back-end development primarily, and I was the one that brought the services to the server, into the service, which was to give you the computer vision and all the machine learning model pipelines. So before we begin talking about Move Right, I'd like to talk a little bit something that I have a passion for, and it's exercising. Exercising has been a great thing into my life. I think it's done me very well in all aspects of my every single day living here. And it's something that I feel everybody should have, as it also benefits everybody as a whole. We did discover, however, during the process of research that there were a couple of issues, particularly with a lot of people who were just starting at the gym. Maybe you might have found yourself in a position where you enter into a gym and possibly you don't know what to do. Alternatively, if you were one of those people who have experienced such a thing, then you would also have faced the situation where you hire a personal trainer only to realize that surmounting sessions tend to become very expensive. And this is something that we have seen as a trend, and therefore we decided the solution was to bring to you guys Move Right and to bring AI into the equation by providing you expert form checking right at your fingertips. Just the use of equipment like a software and the camera. No expert advice, no gym memberships needed. Just expert form checking, like I said, right at your fingertips.
So this is our tech stack. On the back end, We're using Python as a backend language. Flask handles our HTTP networking, and we have OpenCV. It handles our video capture and frame processing. Google's MediaPipe tracks the limbs and their movements. Scikit-learn's support vector machines analyze our form. We trained 2 separate models right now, one for squat and one for push-up. And lastly, we have SQL Alchemy. It manages our database layer and our ORM operations.
Meanwhile, for our front end, we used React as our building block for our interface. We utilized React because of its ability to export into mobile and iOS. We also use socket.io for bidirectional data flow to give users live feed information as interface and server are in constant communication with one another. Now, you might be wondering what challenges we faced along the way. One of the challenges we faced was budget constraints in both time and resources, as subpar equipment caused many lag and dependency issues when testing our app. Another one of our issues was team coordination, as team communication was very avid about GitHub merge errors, and thanks to that, we solved it rather rapidly. Another one of our issues we ran into was scoping, which we had to cut back many ambitious ideas we had for this project, such as voice coaching, but we decided to stick to the main MVP proposition, which was real-time form checking.
So for the technical challenges, performance was very crucial for us. Achieving 30 frames per second required us to optimize our machine learning, and we had to carefully optimize our angle calculations. Camera sourcing was another issue. Initially, we couldn't dynamically source the camera. We were using a third-party IP app. We fixed this by using indexing. And lastly, version control. All 3 of us were using different versions of software. We fixed this by implementing rigid control in our requirements files. So MoveRight right now is real AI. It's not simulated. It's real machine learning. It's ready for production, full authentication, database, error handling. It has an end-to-end solution. You can sign up. You do your exercise, and it'll save your workout data. It's a scalable architecture right now. It's ready for mobile expansion, and it solves a real problem: accessible form coaching.
Now, allow us to give you the MoveRight experience. Here on the dashboard, you will see numbers and metrics, which are all real. These are not mock-up data placed on the front end. These are all data that was pulled from the database to provide information on your workouts and percentages of forms.
You will see downstairs that you have selected a couple of exercises. We selected the push-up, and before we begin, there will be a couple of instructions located above as to setting your environment. As we begin the starting recording session, what we do is that we have the back end create a communication with the front end through WebSockets so that you can see the live feed that's about to show up right now. Here you will see our colleague, Mr. Joseph Gleason. He will be performing a couple of push-ups with us, accompanied with a green skeleton overlaid on top of his body. That's the MediaPipe framework that we are utilizing in order to access that information so that we can dictate the rules as to how this behavior is going to be it for full range of motion, form breakdown, or correct form overall.
So what happens when I lose my form doing a push-up? So right here in our score tab, this is being updated 30 times per second. It's being analyzed by our SVM models. Right here, the SVM predictor will show either bad form, good form, or adjusted form using a confidence score. Here you can see the angles being calculated in real time. So when you're done and you save your workout, here you can see the results page, dates, reps, form score, and an improvement tab, which analyzes your previous sessions, and it'll tell you if you improved or deproved. So right now we're going to return to the dashboard, and if you choose to save the workout, it'll show up in your recent activity tab.
As you can see, there's a couple of other different exercises that you can select from. So far for this demonstration, we've only given you the push-up. However, and the most important aspect is current testing and current development, and this is where you come into the equation. So we would be extremely honored if you were to join us out back and test any of the other further exercises that we have to showcase today. Amongst what we learned, we've come to discover that throughout all the challenges, we can proudly say that MoveRight has achieved MVP status, and we are ready to upscale into a more production environment by implementing the following recommendations. The first one, which is going to be to create more data models. The second, which is to have a more curated database for our specific needs. And the third, and the most important, which is to have more exercises. Like I said, the most important component every now and then is going to be further testing. And so we humbly invite you, and we would be honored if we were to have you out back so that we can test this and you can join us in this movement revolution. This has been MoveRight, brought to you by Team Movium. We thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much.
All right. That concludes our presentations. Thank you so much for your attention. For those online on the Google Meet, please hang tight. We're going to be starting the virtual meet and greet very shortly, right after the presentations. And for all those here in person, please join our graduates in the back of the room at their booth. If someone's missing from their booth, they're probably in the virtual meet and greet room. So just stop by in a little bit once they're back. And thank you so much for being here. Help yourself to some snacks, refreshments, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.